Hello my dear students. In this video you are going to learn what is even and what is odd function. You also learn how to determine whether a function is even or odd. But first let us see the definition of even and odd function. So let f be a function with the domain x. So that function f, its domain is at x. The function f is even if f of minus x is the same thing as f of x. If this did happen, then the function f is said to be an even function. The function f is odd if f of minus x is the same thing as minus f of x. If f of minus x is the same thing as minus f of x, then that function is called an odd function. These are the things you test whether the function f is even or odd. If it is even, f of minus x is the same thing as f of x. But if it is odd, f of minus x is the same thing as minus fx. But you have to take note. A function cannot be both even and odd at the same time. It can't be both. You have to take note also, a function can neither be even nor odd. You may have a function that is not even and it is not odd at the same time. These are the things you have to take note. We try to see examples in which we determine whether a function is even or odd or neither. Example number 1, it says determine whether the function f is even, odd, or neither even nor odd function. And the definition for this function, it says f of x equals to square root of x squared plus 1. Solution to this problem: copying the formula for the function f of x equals to square root of x squared plus 1. To answer this question, what we do first is to test whether that function is even. To test whether the function is even, find f of minus x. If it is even, remember the condition says f of minus x is the same thing as f of x. So let us get f of minus x first. F of minus x simply refers to wherever we have x in the definition of the function, we replace it by minus x. So replacing x by minus x, we now have square root of minus x whole squared then plus 1. And minus x whole squared will now give answer x squared. So in the end I have square root of x squared plus 1. Looking at these two highlighted, look at it now. F of minus x, it is exactly the same thing as f of x, meaning the formula for the function. So I can now write f of minus x is now equals to f of x. We can see it from this work. Hence, the function f is even, because the condition for even function says f of minus x is the same thing as f of x. Another example, it says determine whether the function g is even, odd, or neither even nor odd function. And the definition of the function g says g of x equals to 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx squared. Solution to this problem: copying the definition of the function g first. So we have g of x equals to 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx squared. To test whether this function is even, odd, or neither even nor odd, what we do first is to test whether the function is even. To find out whether the function is even, we are to find g of minus x. So g of minus x simply means wherever I have x in the definition of the function g, I should replace that x by minus x. So replacing x by minus x in the definition, I will now have 2 into minus x raised to the power of 3 plus minus x whole squared. Now I'll simplify this further. Minus x raised to the power of 3 simply is now equals to minus x raised to 3. Then multiplied by 2 will give answer minus 2x raised to the power of 3. And minus x whole squared simply give answer positive x squared, because minus times minus is plus. So g of minus x is now equals to minus 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx square. So next I will now compare my g of minus x with the g of x. Looking at these two highlighted, look at it now. The g of x is 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx square. And the g of minus x, you can see it that it is minus 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx square. Looking at these two, whether they are the same. If the same, then you can conclude that the function is even function. But these two are not the same. G of minus x is not equals to g of x. Therefore, the function g is not even function. So I will now move ahead and test whether it is odd. To find out whether this function g is odd function, you are to find minus g of x. Minus g of x simply means minus 1 multiplied by the function g of x. So minus g of x is now equals to minus bracket 2x raised to the power of 3 plus dx square. What is inside the bracket is exactly the definition of my function g of x. So I continue. Taking the minus inside the bracket, I will now have minus 2x raised to the power of 3, then minus x square. So I'll now look at these two, the minus gx and the g of minus x. I will now compare whether they are equal. Look at the two highlighted now. Looking at these two, they are not the same, because there in the x square it is positive x square, but in the minus gx it is minus x squared. Hence minus g of x is not equals to g of minus x. Then we can now say that the function g is not odd function. We have seen that the function g is not even, and now we have seen that it is also not odd. Then we can conclude that the function g is neither even nor odd. Another example, it says determine whether the function h is even, odd, or neither even nor odd function. The function h is defined by the formula h of x equals to x plus 1 over x. Solution to this problem, copying the definition of the function h of x equals to x plus 1 over x. So what we do first is to target whether the function is even. To test whether the function is even is to find h of minus x. H of minus x simply is now equals to, in the definition of my function, wherever I have x, I will replace it by minus x. So I'm going to have minus x plus 1 over minus x. Simplifying this correctly, I will now have minus x minus 1 over x. There in the second term, the plus minus, the answer will now be minus. So I'll now compare the h of x and the h of minus x, whether they are equal or not. Looking at these two, h of x and h of minus x, look at these two critically. You now discover that in the h of x, you can see that it is x plus 1 over x. But in the h of minus x, it is minus x minus 1 over x. These two are not the same. Therefore, we conclude that the h of minus x is not equals to h of x, and to that the function h is not even. If it is even, the h of x would now be the same thing as h of minus x. So let us move ahead and test whether the function is odd. To test whether the function is odd is to find minus h of x. Minus h of x simply refers to minus 1 multiplied by the function h of x. So I'll now have minus into x plus 1 over x. And opening this bracket by taking this minus into the bracket, I will now have minus x minus 1 over x. And this is minus h of x. So I'll now compare this minus h of x and h of minus x, whether they are the same or not. Looking at these two highlighted, look at the two. You can see that the two are exactly the same. Then we can now conclude that minus h of x is the same thing as h of minus x, and to that the function h is an odd function. And this is the end of this lesson. Let us now revise some of the things that you have learned in this lesson. You have learned in this lesson that the functions are classified into even, odd, neither even nor odd function. You have also learned that a function f is even when f of minus x is the same thing as f of x. You have also learned that a function f is odd if f of minus x is the same thing as minus f of x. These are some of the things that you have learned in this video.